This is a continuation of the first video I made for the DLC, link in the description and the pinned comment. The first thing I did was go back to the specimen storeroom, since I barely explored it. The place was crawling with enemies, and besides this, it has some of Messmer's knights in it. I'm still probably a long way from fighting the guy, aren't I? A few floors up in the storeroom, I opened the boss arena. Honestly, can't wait to see who's in here. A snake. Wait, there's no way. It's Messmer! So yeah, apparently I totally missed the guy when I first explored this place. I didn't even try to beat him. I wanted to keep him for the end of the playthrough, so stick around until later in the video. Since I couldn't find any way to go behind the castle, I went back into the town with the hole in it, and I entered said hole. Turns out it led to Bonnie Village, where I had two options: go up towards actual progress, or down to where the fuck knows. I went down, of course, and I entered the dungeon. It was not that interesting. It was full of jars whose lore kept me up at night, and an epileptic's worst nightmare. Yeah, epilepsy warning. The boss at the end was one of those annoying guys who jump all over the place. Thank God it was made out of paper. With the dungeon cleared, I advanced upwards. Instead of going directly to the castle, I stopped at a nearby church. In here, I talked with a guy who said something about fingers or something, and with his stunning knight. You know, she might be a killer, but that's the voice of an angel. Besides all this, the guy gave me a map to the first finger area, and an item that will let me interact with the finger in the middle. I immediately went there and blew into the finger. Huh, that's weird. You usually suck on fingers, you don't blow them. Wow, that's fucking useless. I went back to the kid named Finger and he gave me another map. This time to the finger zone that's after the castle. Hey look, we actually got back on track. The castle was filled with water, but after a few minutes and a jump that I saw people call hard? Seriously, why is this hard? I managed to drain it and find nothing but annoyances. I eventually got back into the storeroom through here, and I finally ended up right before a boss. This was such a fun boss. So fun. There's nothing in this world that I love more than taking more damage if I try to dodge than when I tank a move. Not terrible at all. Can you see that I don't like this Hog Rider lookalike? Yeah, this guy was a pain in my side. But thankfully I discovered with him a trend among Shadow of the Erdtree bosses. Holy weakness. So I respect and made a Scarlet Rod / Holy build using this weapon. This helped a lot with melting him. With the Clash of Clans mascot dead, I tried to go to the right, but I found nothing. Maybe I have to go to the left? Okay, thanks for the fragments, but did I just beat this guy for nothing? Oh yeah, I just did. So apparently you have to go and get the Oh Mother emote, and then go to this statue and use it to open a secret passage? I fucking hate this game, oh my god. Anyways, now I was able to go into the next finger zone and blow on a big juicy finger. Wow, it's just as useless as the last one. This time, when I talked with Mike Ermantraut, he gave me a third map and said something about mothers and fingers or something. I already started thinking that I have to go and find another cave in bumfuck nowhere to get to the third zone, but after I restarted the area, he wasn't on his chair. chair that started moving after I interacted with it. I opened the passage to reveal that the third area was under the church all along. I fought his knight here, beating her second try, and then I blew another thick, big, juicy... Okay, I'll stop. What it did was transport me into a boss arena against your mom. Yes, that's right. You are kid named Finger. Anyways, the mother of Fingers is what I describe as Ron the Vacuum Spider on steroids. She summons hands to help her, but most of the damage was done by slamming her head into me or just slamming her body into me. The spells she used were pretty easy to dodge. Actually, once I found the right build, the spells left her really open and vulnerable. I feel so dirty talking about a woman this way, my guy. Initially, I tried to use Scarlet Rot and the staff, cause again, low holy resistance. But then I realized, wait, she's in water. Lightning resistance is a joke if she's in water. So I went and got the Lightning Spear but better spell, and with this I was straight up melting her. The only problem was her second phase, especially that undodgeable black hole attack. Besides this, she wasn't that different from her first phase. I love that you can see me panicking once I see that black hole appear. With the Mother of Fingers gone, I went to rest at the site of Grace to see if the guy will have any new dialogue. Oh. Okay. I guess we're fighting her again. Well, that was not that hard. Oh. Okay, so apparently this is a boss with an invader before it. Thankfully, the Lightning Spear was pretty good against these two, and I got rid of them pretty easily. What I also got was this staff. This staff can cast spells and incantations at the same time, so I know what I'm using for the rest of the DLC. So, what did I do? Was I a normal person and I went to respec? Or did I farm for a few hours until I got my int to level 50? Of course it's the second one. And I also leveled up my focus. Duh. After I was done leveling, instead of going to fight Messmer, I went exploring a bit to try and find the remaining Remembrance bosses. I didn't find them, but I beat this demi-human queen, and then I ascended the peak only to third party a 1v1 between two dragons. With the dragons defeated, I talked with the man, the myth, the legend, the hater himself, Egon, my beloved. And he had one request for me: summon him to fight Bayle. Which I did. And even though I was too busy getting smacked around by Bayle, I couldn't help but have a dumb smile on my face at how good this guy's voice acting was. Amazing. Anyways, I got smacked around a bit more, and I decided to go and check to see if the seal from the last video was broken. And lo and behold, it was. Yeah, this area is hard as shit to traverse. If you're stupid. And yeah, I was stupid. The moment you try to run through this area, you will get lasered down faster than a fighter jet in a Star Wars movie. Just take it slow and steady, move gently, and eventually we'll get there. And yes, the joke is sex. Anyways, I got to a site of Grace and I took the plunge. Oh man, I can't wait. Last time I had to plunge in an area like this, I had to fight Metyr. I wonder what I'll have to fight. Yeah, I guess this guy is fine. He's kinda like Malekith. Hits hard but has low HP, but you know, without the crazy build up lore relevance, cool cutscene and amazing looking moves. Besides this, he's kinda like Malekith. one thing that I didn't mention is that in this area I beat an enemy that dropped the spell that will absolutely carry my ass through the rest of the DLC. The multi-layered Ring of Light. And carry my ass, with the help of the Lightning Spear, it did. Yeah, this boss doesn't stray away from the weak to holy thing. Actually, I think it takes 20% more holy damage than the rest. With the undead Hog Rider dead, I went inside the cave in the back of the arena where I found this lady named Saint Trina. There was nothing to do here besides drink her nectar, which instantly kills you. But get this, if you drink it 4 times, you can really tell this game is made in Japan, you will get some important lore drops about how Mikola has to be stopped from ascending to godhood. Ah yes, like mother like son. And by that I mean 2 dumbasses. I'll come back to this later. I also did this guy's quest, which involved me telling him where Saint Trina was, talking to him once he goes there, fighting him and listening to him moan? Hey, first, well, actually second quest done. Third? Now, for the last Remembrance boss fight, besides Messmer and the final fight, the Sunflower. Yeah, to be fair, I just watched a tutorial to find this guy, but I probably could have found him just by walking around the castle. Just go to the church that's in the castle, the one with the America statue, and take a right here, and then go down. Huh, a church. In a church. Isn't this a bit excessive? I found Marika's rune, and I thought it did something cool, but it turns out it just gives me 80k runes, which is basically chump change at this point. And then I entered the Sunflower fight, and despite me being a little bitch about the last few bosses and complaining, this flower is pretty fun to fight. Sadly, it has too little HP to be an exciting fight. No way! Yippee! I get to fight it more! No way, a third one? Jokes aside, I really like this fight, but god I can't wrap my head around why they didn't just put all of its HP in one two-phase boss. As for its moves, yeah, pretty fair and balanced. Really fun actually. The only BS move that it had was its third phase move, where it glows and then it explodes. Besides this, yeah, really good fight. Honey, I'm home.
In the embrace of Messmer's flame.
I absolutely love this guy. From moveset to lore to coolness factor to fight fairness, this guy is perfect. I'm honestly a bit regretful over me summoning Horsent for his questline. Still, I got to have a lot of fun with his first phase. Probably his hardest move, for me at least, was this one. But I found out that as long as you run towards his sweeping attack, you won't get hit that hard by his follow-up attacks. Hey, that's 80k runes. You know, the last thing I was expecting from his second phase was for him to turn into a giant snake, use snakes, maybe even become one. Nope. And to be honest, his snake's moves were really fun as well. Overall, a fun boss fight with amazing lore. I can't really add more to this discussion. He's a very traditional hard From Software boss fight. Fuck you, Marika. fuck your order, fuck your life, and fuck the fact that you made so many people literal monsters by manipulating them.
upon thee. Accursed Messmer.
10 out of 10 boss fight is what Millennia should have been. Funny enough, my successful try was also the one where Hornsent lived. And to thank me for helping him, he tried to kill me. Way to go, dumbass. Now, I had all bosses done, and the last Remembrance boss was the final boss of the game. But Bayle was still alive, and I and Egon were not about to let that slide. We are taking you down, Dragon Satan. And hey, I even used the throwing build that I used before. Now with Messmer's spear. Man, if I felt like I missed up on a boss before for summoning on them, did I miss out a lot on Bayle? And it's not like I can choose to not summon, that's heresy. But damn, Egon was strong. Like, strong. Other summons either tank hits like there's no tomorrow, or deal good damage to the boss. He did both. And the damage was not negligible either. He was doing more damage than me with some of his hits. Damn, my boy really got his revenge.
Curse you, Bayle! I hereby vow you will rue this day. Behold, a true Drake warrior, and I, Egon, your fears made flesh. Solid of scale you might be, foul dragon, but I will riddle with holes your rotten hide. With a hail of harpoons, with every last drop of my being. Bayle the Dread, you shall haunt me no longer.
And funny enough, just like with Messmer, he survived on the successful try. You did it, Egon. You pierced the flesh of the foul dragon with the hail of harpoons. With all this done, it was time to burn the thorns. After I burned the thorns, I got transported to the final legacy dungeon. Dungeon that I did just like every other one. At the end of the dungeon, I was greeted by the knight who helped me get here. And I had to fight her. I didn't even hesitate to summon for this fight. This was not a fight between me and her. This was a fight between Mikola and every person who is hurt or manipulated. So I summoned and I entered the fight. This is for Mog, who's been accused of horrible things because of him. This is for Saint Trina, who was cast down by him, and for Toilier, who stayed by her side. And this is for anyone else who's ever fallen victim to his charms. Be ready, Mikola, because I'm coming for you, and I'll wear this armor in her honor. Oh, okay. At least he's nice enough to revive his bra.
So that he may be my consort.
What the actual fuck is wrong with this guy? Man, incest and homosexuality? You can really tell this game was made in Japan. Okay, that was straight up racist. You can really tell George R.R. Martin worked on this game. Fun fact, everything you have seen until this point has been written before I beat this really cool, amazing final boss. The things people say about him are totally not true. He's definitely not the worst DLC final boss that has been made. But hey, maybe I'll change my mind after I beat him. Nope, he's definitely the worst From Software final boss ever made. And it's all because of that godforsaken second phase. Seriously now, what the fuck is this? God, if I ever see someone ever wonder again how strong was a boss in their prime, I'll fucking lose it. I started by trying to beat him normally with the Metyr and Scarlet Rot, but as I said, second phase. Then I tried ranged Messmer spear throws. Second phase. So eventually I caved in. I went and got the fingerprint shield. Second try, by the way, and that was because I accidentally went to the bottom first try. And I got a talisman that boosts guarding. I decided to use this with Messmer spear, cause if my guy basically ruined his life for the biggest piece of shit from his family and didn't get to have his revenge, I'll make sure I use the spear to kill the second biggest piece of shit at the very least. So how did it work? I mean, it was not insanely easy, it still took me some time, but I actually felt like I was able to defeat him, which I did after switching weapons at the beginning of the fight to trick the Metyr into applying Scarlet Rot on him. Man, shut your bitch ass up. Again, shut the fuck up. God, he really embodies the manipulate, mansplain, male wife meme. This was an experience. I'm gonna be honest here. Even though I still liked the DLC, I disliked it more than I'd like to admit. Would I still recommend someone to buy it though? Oh, absolutely. But they will be in for a wild ride. If you stayed here until this point, I hope you had a fun time watching. Remember that Messmer is the best boss fight in the DLC, and what can I say except, see ya next time. Bye bye.